also look forward. This tragic accident that took our leader's life has tested our resolve, but it will not break our spirit. The party is more than one man. It is a movement built on the unshakable principles that Cyrus championed. To the family, we say, his dream lives on. And to the nation, we declare, the work continues. The future direction of the party is clear. We will honor Cyrus by carrying forward his work. And we will redouble our efforts to realize his vision of a united nation built on fairness and opportunity. And we will ensure that the torch of unity among communities, unity in the country, justice and equitable development that he carried so brightly is passed on. We will not allow his sacrifices to be in vain. We will transform our grief into relentless dedication to the cause he espoused. Honorable Jirongo, your life was a testament to selfless service. Rest in power, our leader. We will make you proud. Thank you.
Thank you, SG. Moses Kuria and Nabi, please come forward. A minute, teacher. Mheshimiwa Nabi.
I'll speak for him. Church, family of my friend, the late Cyrus Jirongo, leaders present. I've come here to offer my condolences and last respect to a friend. I've known Cyrus for the last 32 years, 33 years to be precise. For those of us who are young student leaders at the advent of multipartyism, and I've got my classmates here who are in the committee, the year 1992 when we were student leaders could easily be called the Jirongo year. As student leaders, especially radical ones who are opposed to the then government of Daniel Arap Moi, we used to, gossip about each other. This one is pretending to be upright, but he was seen with Jirongo, and you knew what that meant that time. John Nyongesa, kwa mchezo makoha, you know what I mean. But our entry into politics that particular time was shaped by this man who was very much determined. Later, of course, I worked very closely with Jirongo. John Nyongesa used to consult for him, especially trying to manage the communication around his many cases. And much later, I had, unbeknown to many, a brief stint with the One Kenya Alliance with my sister mother here, and Cyrus, was very much determined before we took different paths and went different ways. We all remember Jirongo for his fortitude, his determination, and most importantly for me, for thinking big. Jirongo was a big thinker. He refused to lower the bar all the time, even when, life became, complicated and difficult. As Khaniri has said, I used to say about Jirongo didn't want a jam ya pesa. Pesa moja lazima imalizike, ndio ingine ikuje. He was a very good spender on that basis. I want to just finish by saying 3 things. One, I want to support George Khaniri, Senator. We need to have thorough investigation on everything that is questionable. It does not presume guilt on anyone to have thorough investigation. And I offer to buy the torch, Khaniri, in that respect. Because the truth is important, and the truth is not presumption of guilt on anyone. The second thing is, for those of us, especially, let us be each other's brothers' keeper and sisters' keeper. And especially David Morade, those of us from the UG and Chai Society, let us be each other's brothers and sisters' keeper, because it is important that we look after each other, especially when we are on that journey. And finally, to the Mulembe Nation, If there was one man who loved his community, it was Cyrus Jirongo. Every time, and Philip Kizia would bear me witness because we had those sessions, every time Jirongo got either money or prospect of money, he would call us and tell us, can we start calculating how much we need to put together all the 38 constituencies of the Murembe nation? And I've got a message for you and a story about one Cinderella. Cinderella spent all her time being told by her sisters that she's not beautiful. The day she discovered her beauty, life was never the same again. May God rest the soul of Cyrus in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you to my sisters-in-law, our sons, to the bigger family of Cyrus in the business community, in the political sphere, and those of us from Lembe Nation. I'm here to mourn a legend, to mourn a friend, to mourn a brother. In Cyrus, we did a number of things. I worked for him. We worked together. He worked for me. I'm here as a member of National Assembly because of his mentorship and support. I want to ask all of you that as a people of Lugari, as a people of Kakamega, and as a people of Western region, we are not just mourning a death. We are mourning a history. We are mourning a go-getter who placed us on the map of this country. I want to remind all of us that one day, very young, below 30, I was involved in an issue after 2007 election to reach Silas to go and vote for Marende. He did not despise me as the messenger. He listened to me and he delivered the vote. My brothers, Cyrus, you did everything for the Murembe nation. We let you down when you needed us. I know in your heart you will find space to forgive us. I want to invite all of you to Lumakanda, to Lugari. We mourn a legend together as we escort him to his final place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Nabii. We recognize Senator Shionga, Mheshimiwa Maraga, Commissioner Khadija, and Mheshimiwa Ndolo. Let me call the following to give their tributes. I know you're my seniors, but mimi ndio niko prefect siku ya leo, kwa hivyo lazima mtanipatie heshima. The first speaker in that category, my brother Eugene Wamalwa, will be followed by Honorable Karua and Mzee wa Kazi, Emeritus AG Senator Wako. This time I'll not give you 1 hour, you have 2 minutes.
Our Mlamua and Christine Kanini and Jirongo's family, fellow mourners, the church, may I bring my condolences to the family, the condolences of my party, the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, to the UDP family that was led by our brother Cyrus Jirongo. We say pole to you for losing a father, for a friend, and a leader. Looking at the array of mourners here, you can tell that we are here to mourn not just a great son of the Mulembe nation, because he was a leader whose influence went beyond Western Kenya. Not just a great son of Kenya, and you can see he had friends from every corner of Kenya. You've had Kikuyus, Luos, Kisis, Kambas, everybody from every corner of this country was a friend. And not just in Kenya, we've seen beyond Africa, East Africa actually, from Uganda to Sudan to Libya, and across the world, all the way from China. We are very, very grateful to have all of you here mourning this great son of Africa, the son of Kenya, the son of the Mlembe nation. For me, I knew Cyrus when I was a young man, just going to the university at the time. He was a very close friend of my late brother Mike Wamalwa, and he was also very close to the late Masinde Muliro. Talking about generosity of Cyrus, I saw it firsthand. I was told then that the richest Luya man was a man called Ambwere. But then I was told at that time the richest man was no longer Ambwere. There's a young man who has come, and he's very rich, that he even has a certain note, 500 shilling note named after him. He's called Jirongo. And that he was a political genius and a mobilizer who was helping Moi face a very resurgent opposition. It was a first multi-party election, and this man was called Jirongo. I was very surprised that though he was in Kanu and he was Moi's right-hand man, Jirongo still had friends across the political aisle. He would come and speak to my late brother. He would come and speak to Masinde Muliro. He was not actually limited by political boundaries. And this is how Jirongo lived his life. And that is why in this congregation, you could see people across the political aisle. He did not know any borders. In fact, if he was a doctor, he would have been one of those Medicinos Sans Frontiers, doctors without borders. He did not respect the border of tribe or religion or region. He cut across. And I would like us, particularly those of us who are from the Mlembe nation who are here today, if there is one thing we can pick from Cyrus, the greatest honor we can bestow upon this man is to fight for what he fought for most, Luya unity, the unity of the Mlembe nation. And in so doing, we must rise above our petty politics. We must remember the words of Abraham Lincoln, who said, though we are politicians, we are not enemies, we are competitors. And that though passions may strain the bonds of affection, they must not break because of politics. That is how Cyrus lived his life. He worked with the opposition, he worked with government, but he reached out to all to unite not just the Mlembe nation, but the greater Kenyan nation. So as we go forth, let us borrow a leaf from this leader from our region, and let us carry on the fight to ensure that, as Moses Kuria has said, the Luya Cinderella finds her beauty, and that beauty lies in the unity that Cyrus fought for. Lastly, we do know that Cyrus was a politician who spoke his mind, who spoke truth to power. In fact, he has left us at a time when we have the debate that has just started about the referendum, constitutional review, and my big sister Martha is here. She led, as the Minister for Justice, the constitutional review that led to the review of our constitution and the birth of the 2010 constitution. That conversation has just started. Of course, they have the debate of Singapore. This is the time we would have liked the dynamite voice of Cyrus Jirongo to contribute to this national discourse that is just starting. I'm sure Cyrus might have said, well, we tried this at Bomas, at NADCO, at BBI. But right now, probably he would question, is it really our top national priority, the constitutional amendments that we want to talk about, when half of Kenya is going hungry? 55% of this country do not celebrate Christmas. Families cannot put food on the table. Up north, from Garissa to Wajir to Mandera, people are starving. And we cannot feed these families. And here we are talking about Singapore. He would have asked, our health sector is in a mess. For the first time, Kenyatta National Hospital is about to collapse. Just like a 100-year-old hospital in Kakamega called St. Mary's Mission Hospital. that has been there since the colonial times is collapsing because of the failed Shah policies. He would have questioned some of these things, and we will miss that dynamite voice that speaks truth to power. And we must carry on this fight, even in his absence. Thank you, and God bless you.
The family of the late friend and brother, Cyrus Jirongo, led by the widows, Anne, Christine, and Anne, and the entire Jirongo family, and the people gathered here. We are here to honor a friend and a brother. I met Cyrus before he started, before his entry into politics. And in line with his character, he had come to the courts to bail out a friend, now a big shot in government. And in that process, because I too had gone to help that particular mutual friend, we got to know each other. Later we were to meet in Parliament. He was in government, we were in the opposition, but that did not stop our collaboration. We've collaborated with Cyrus in many political seasons. Moses Kuria mentioned some of it in the runner-up to the 2022 elections. We were planning on collaborating moving forward. It's not going to stop. I say aluta continua. And I want to say something maybe that has not been mentioned. Cyrus had concerns about his safety. He was actually making arrangements to better secure himself. This accident came before that time. So those questions will linger, but for now, we stand with the family. We say farewell to a person who had a large heart, generous, who saw people for who they are, a person who not only loved the Mlembe nation, but humanity, and who always thought of how he could improve on what was there. So to those of us in the political category, let us carry on the work of improving Kenya. And because this is a journey, this is a process, not a short-term thing. Whatever we achieve in our times can be improved upon by the next. And let those who are in business carry on thinking big. He has gone before hitting it big. And I'm certain he was going to hit it big. So to his partners in business, carry on with his dreams and let his family reap the benefits. Rest in peace, Cyrus, till we meet again.
Senator wako.
Good morning. We have come and gathered here to honor, to celebrate, and to say a final goodbye to our dear friend, Cyrus Shakhalaga Khwa Jirongo. A great man, a great Kenyan, a leading entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. I first came to know CJ, as we now called him, early in 1992, when I was the Attorney General of the Republic. He was introduced to me by two Kenyan leaders, Honorable Elijah Wasike Mwangale and Honorable Burudi Nawera. And when I first met him, I noticed immediately that he was a man of great zeal, a lot of enthusiasm, really a go-getter, and very much concerned with the future of Kenya and the future of the Mulembe nation. So from that time, we hit off well and would meet many times between him and particularly Musalia at that time. Then one day he came to the office and gave me a surprise of my life. I had just been in the office for about 1 year. And he came and said, Wako, we want to make you Chief Justice of Kenya. I was surprised. I told him, no. I'm still a bit young. But more importantly, I was more focused on having a contribution towards constitutional and legal reforms, so we can find somebody else. And I thought he had agreed. Only later, for Mwangale and Bunawera to say the same thing, and I gave them the same answer, and I thought that put matters to rest. Only later, for the President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi to tell me, the elections are coming, we may go away and whatnot, and I don't want to have an expatriate Chief Justice anymore. At that time, the Chief Justice was Hancock's. I want an African Chief Justice, and you are the only one who can do this job. I explained to him in the best possible manner that maybe not. Then he told me, you get me a black man from anywhere in Africa, black man, to come and replace Hancock's. So I went to Ghana and convinced Apollo to come. That was Jirongo. I said he was a philanthropist. He helped many, as you have heard. Many succeed in politics, many succeed in business. He also helped me when I decided to join politics and to campaign in Busia. He came without any notice to me. I was on ODM, he was on the Federal Party, another party. He came to campaign for his people, but as far as senatorship was concerned, he told the Busia people they support Amos Wako of ODM. And also gave them something which did not match, which went far above what I myself could give in the form of campaign. So he really campaigned for me. I said he was an entrepreneur. And I want to repeat what I think Amayo said. He was a leading contractor and developer before he even joined YK92. Maybe it's because He was such a leading developer that Nyayo approached him to lead YK 92. He was the only person at that time, and by that I mean African, who was a developer and a contractor who was putting up estates in Nairobi. The only other Kenyan I knew was Kenneth Gino Matiba. Jirongo was one of them. So if he had not been interfered with because he joined politics, I can tell you he would have gone very far, and he was there to encourage particularly the Mulembe nation also to be entrepreneurs, also to have a bank, also to have insurance company, and so on. We mourn a great man, and particularly in the Mulembe nation, the best way we can give him tribute is what Eugene said, let us unite. My kind condolences to the family. We shall stand with you now, and we shall stand with you in future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator Wako. Thank you, Church, for tolerating our intolerance. Let me close by saying that CJ had a big dream. You're gone, but your legacy will live. To the children, especially the boys, you know who CJ was. You should stand firm, protect your mothers, protect your siblings, protect the girls. May God bless you. Thank you very much. CJ, till we meet again.
Amen. Yeah, let's appreciate our honorable members and also the business associates and friends of Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. Let's appreciate them once more. So allow me at this time to invite the music team to give us one song.
You are Alpha and Omega.
We can stand
We
and sing together.
worship you alone. You are worthy to be praised. You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you alone. You are worthy to be praised. Let me say, we give you all the glory. You are the glory. Oh Lord, we worship you. You alone are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. Every hour, in every situation. Glory. Oh God, we worship you alone. You are worthy to be our Father, we give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. Our glory. Oh God, we worship you. You are faithful. You are dependable. One more time. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. Oh God, we worship you. Oh Lord, you are one more time. We give you all the glory. Our lives are in your hands. You are the Alpha and Omega. You are. Oh
Amen. We can have our seats. Let's appreciate the music team for helping us with that song. At this time, we want to hear tributes from the family. So we'll begin with siblings of Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. We'll have the siblings come, but we have Grace, who will read tribute on behalf of the siblings. So the siblings to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo, kindly come up here, and Grace will be reading the tribute on behalf of the siblings. Let's appreciate them as they come.
Praise the Lord. My name is Grace, the youngest siblings in Cyrus's family. We're sorry, 4 of us are not here. Two of them, they're back home trying to help, and one of them is not feeling well. And we ask you, when you leave here, to put him in prayer. I will read these tributes on their behalf. Our beloved brother, it is unfortunately you had to depart from us at this early stage in life. I take this opportunity to thank you, even though we are doing it through this tragedy and as we mourn. We will never understand why, but our Father in heaven knows all and knows best. You have been a role model to our children and us. And you have done so much, we cannot mention enough. We promise to carry you along on our back and in our hearts in every step we make in life. You are one of our pillars, a pillar that has fallen, but will live in us forever. Your strength and courage carried us through all times. To others, you are a politician, you are a friend, you are a money giver, all name it. But to us, you are our blood brother, and extraordinary brother and a father figure. I pray for God to keep us as we go through this sorrow and a difficult time. We love and cherish you, and always will. Rest well, our dear brother. Amen. And before we leave stage, I'll take this opportunity to thank our 3 sister-in-laws. They have been very wonderful human beings. And I'm asking you kindly to continue with the same spirit, even though Cyrus is gone. We love you, and let's keep pushing. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Amen. Let's appreciate the siblings to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. At this time, I'll call the children to come, and we'll have June Jirongo and Judy Jirongo, who will read tributes on behalf of the children. The children, please come. The children to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo, please come. And June Jirongo and Judy Jirongo will be able to read tributes on your behalves. Why can we appreciate the children to Honorable Cyrus?
Afternoon, Church. My name is June Jirongo, and I'll read my tribute, then hand over to Judy. Yeah, thank you. So, let me wait. Dad, I am lost for words. I still can't believe you're gone. When I look back, there's always more we could have done together. I choose, however, to look at the good times, the life you lived, the memories we made. The girls are devastated. Your darling and your mom, they loved you so much, and they're still in shock. They remember you as a big, great man, larger than life, yet still the ever generous and happy grandpa. The breakfast and lunch dates you enjoyed together and the plans you had, no one can fill your shoes, but as their parents, we'll do our best to fulfill the plans you had for them and keep your memories alive as they grow. You are and will always be our father, our rock, our provider, our strength and shield. We're all so sad. May you rest well and find peace and happiness in your next life. We're proud of you and thank you for everything.
Good morning, church. My name is Judy Kalamwa. I have a tribute. This will take about 5 minutes, and we have a sister who's not here as well. Her name is Sally, and she asked us to read a poem on her behalf. To Dad, I can't comprehend that you're not here. I'm struggling to reconcile it. It's not loading, but I'm trying. My heart feels deaf. People are apologetic everywhere, but I don't understand why. It's like they see something that we don't. We saw you at Lee a couple of times. You looked like you were sleeping. Sharon, Tim, and I, we sat with you. We waited, and we just watched you. I'd like to go back to a time when we used to run after you after lunchtime so I can get a lift into town. I want to wake up early to find you before you go to work, sitting in the office, drinking black tea, so I can ask for 1K for the week. I want Auntie to tell me to stop wearing your socks. I want to say that I'm sorry where we disappointed you. We had so many things that we had wanted you to see. We wanted to show you what we could do on our own so that you could see how far we could go. Can't accept that you won't see them, so we choose to believe that you will. That when these things happen, God will allow you to see. So don't forget about us. We'll wait for you. I know that you're probably busy with the new task that you've been given, and it's much better where you are than it is here. But please make time to visit us, at least on the important days. We'll wait for you every day until we die. I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, stay safe, Dad. Just one more component. To those who didn't know him, our father was a good man at heart. Like all men, he had his shortcomings. He was a man of extremes, extreme generosity, extreme compassion, and extreme grace for his children. And when things went wrong, sometimes they did go wrong in a big way. He was a man of high ideals and high expectations. As children, we looked up to him. As we grew older, we began to understand him. At times we questioned him, but overall we always deeply admired and consistently strove to make him proud. I believe that God sees him in his entirety, his heart, his spirit, his struggles and the burdens that he carried, all of him. God is a great equalizer. I pray that he gives our father grace and keeps him well. I thank God for the time that we had with our father and for the father that he gave us. I want to thank my dad for everything that he did for us. I am who I am because of him. I want to thank my mothers. Only God can repay them for what they've done for us. I thank my siblings. I'm grateful for you. Our extended family, his friends, and everyone who supported us, be blessed. Can you allow me to read the poem that Sally had written? So this is from Sally. I tell myself to return to who I am, but grief has taken the shape I knew. I became myself beside my father, and without him I do not know my edges. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie writes of bodies hurting in grief, tongues turning bitter, hearts racing beyond control. I feel all of this. Thick Nat Han teaches calm in the storm of anger, a breathing back into the self, but my grief is a storm without a center, and I cannot find the self that I meant to return to. So I choose another way. I choose continuity, a tree that grows because he existed, love still alive, roots that hold the earth he once walked. I am my father's child. My ribs ache from crying, my heart runs away from me. My body has become a place of breaking, my mind a hive of bees. And the world goes on unchanged. The mail still comes, the sun still rises, people still speak of ordinary things. Life does not pause for my sorrow. Inside me, something has shattered. Grief says it's finished, my heart says it's not. Dad, I thought you were immortal. I thought you'd always be here. I thought you had mastered time. I thought you commanded it. You are larger than life itself. Thank you.
You can wait for her to do the eulogy. You can wait for Sonia to do the eulogy. Can stand with Sonia as she does the eulogy.
Good morning, church. My name is Sonia Jirongo. Before my father's untimely passing, he asked that in the event this day come, I read his eulogy. Honorable Cyrus Shakhalaga Khwa Jirongo, a life lived to the full. Today we gather not merely to mourn the passing of a man, but to celebrate a life that was lived boldly, fully, and without apology. We gather to honor Honorable Cyrus Shakhalaga Khwa Jirongo, scion of the Tiriki, son of Kenya, a father and a brother, a builder, a kingmaker, and a force of nature. Cyrus Jirongo was born on 21st March 1961 in Virembe village, Shamahoho of Tiriki in Hamisi, to the late Paul Jirongo Shakhalaga and Selina Ikonanga Jirongo. He was the 11th child in a family of 13, raised in a home grounded in Christian faith, discipline, and enduring belief in hard work. Growing up on the edge of the forest block in Lumakanda, he learned early the values that would define him for life: responsibility, generosity, courage, and a natural instinct to lead. As a boy, watching heavy transit trucks rumble down toward the Karen River Bridge, Cyrus imagined himself on the wheel of those monstrous trucks, in control of power and movement. It was an early sign of a man drawn to scale and possibility. From a young age, it was clear that he was not meant for small things. His ambition was never quiet or concealed. It was bold, visible, and determined. His early education was at Lumakanda DEB Primary School, followed by Mangu High School, which instilled discipline and confidence, but it was equally evident that his education would not be confined to classrooms alone. Immediately after high school, Cyrus made the defining choice. He entered the world of business. Entrepreneurship summoned him, not as an option, but as a command, and he answered without hesitation. He understood markets intuitively. Where others feared risk, he saw opportunity. He built, expanded, failed, rose again, and built bigger.
In the early 1990s, he transformed Kenya's real estate landscape by pioneering affordable, spacious housing for the middle class at a time when such thinking was revolutionary. Hazina Estate, Saika Estate, Kemri Estate, and Ngata Rongai stand today as physical monuments to his vision. Beyond real estate, his footprint extended across energy, cement, production, logistics, finance, and later into African mining and carbon markets. Cyrus Jirongo did not merely participate in the economy, he helped to shape it. He believed that enterprise was not only about profit, but about dignity, jobs, and opening doors where none had existed. Though he learned relentlessly from experience, he also held a deep respect for formal education. He believed that knowledge was the one possession no one could ever take away. Later in life, he returned to the classroom, earning a higher national diploma in management from Cambridge University and an executive MBA from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. It was, however, in public life that Cyrus Jirongo became a national figure. In 1992, he was thrust onto the political stage as chairman of Youth for Kani 92, where he established himself as a master mobilizer, organizer, and strategist. His influence during his period was so pronounced that it put his as-well business success in jeopardy and forced him into active politics. He served with distinction as chairman of AFC Leopard, as a member of Parliament for Lugari constituency for 2 non-consecutive terms, as Secretary for Internal Relations of Kano, and as Minister for Rural Development in Parliament and Cabinet. He believed leadership was practical work, connecting households to opportunity through roads, schools, clinics, water, power, and markets. A little story is told about how at the height of the post-2007 election violence, he rode on a black Mamba bicycle persuading his constituents to take in internally displaced persons. Even when his electoral ambitions did not yield victory, he never retreated from public life. Cyrus Jirongo believed that leadership was not about winning once, but about standing up every time. He founded and led political parties out of deep conviction, believing fiercely in federalism, economic empowerment, and dignity for ordinary Kenyans across the nation. For his service, he was awarded the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya, EGH, one of the nation's highest honors. Yet those who knew him best will tell you that titles mattered less to him than impact. His proudest legacy was not office, but people. Students whose education he paid for, families he supported, entrepreneurs he backed, businesses he rescued, and communities he uplifted. His role in championing the growth of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology remains a lasting gift to Western Kenya and the nation. Beyond public life, Cyrus Jirongo was above all a family man, a patriarch in the truest sense. He was husband to Anne Kanini, Christine Yokabi, and Anne Lanoi, and a devoted father to many children, each carrying a piece of his spirit. To them, he was not a politician or tycoon. He was simply dad, loud, loving, demanding, generous, and present. He celebrated their victories loudly, corrected them firmly, and believed in them relentlessly. His multicultural children speak of a man who taught not through lectures, but by example, a man who believed in courage, discipline, forgiveness, and laughter. His presence filled rooms, his humor disarmed tension, his voice carried authority. He gave freely, sometimes too freely, but always from a place of love. To his siblings, Cyrus was more than a brother. He was a pillar, a shield, a provider, and a pathfinder. He carried his family with him as he rose, never forgetting where he came from, never abandoning those behind him. In life as in death, he remained the center that held many together. Cyrus Jirongo lived as he was, authentic and unapologetic. He spoke the truth, he took risks, he failed publicly and rose again every time. He believed fiercely in possibility. He loved deeply and gave generously. Today, Kenya has lost a political giant. Western Kenya has lost a son. His family lost a husband, a father, a brother, and a protector. But loss is not the final word on the Cyrus Jirongo story. He leaves behind something stronger than absence: legacy. Legacy in the lives transformed, legacy in the courage passed on, legacy in the children who carry his name and his fire. His voice may be silent, but his impact still speaks. His life was full, his race is run, and his legacy endures.
Thank you so much. Why can't we just appreciate the children of Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you. At this time, I want to invite the spouses to Honorable Cyrus Jirongo to come and give us the tribute. The three imams can come up here. Even let's appreciate them as they come. Karibuni.
Good morning, church. God is good, and all the time. Thank you. It's not easy to stand here to talk about a beloved, so I will read my tribute. Today we gather here with heavy hearts in honor of the life of Cyrus, a beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, friend. Words are too small in moments like this. This is because of the pain of the sudden loss, because the pain of the sudden loss is deep and overwhelming. We did not expect to say goodbye so soon, and our hearts grieve with shock and silence of the absence he has left. Cyrus was larger than life. The tragedy that took him, the tragedy that took his life, he was a man who loved, who worked hard, who laughed, who dreamed huge, who cared deeply for those around him. To me, he was a loving husband, a protector, a friend, and to the larger family, Cyrus was a source of strength and support to many of us here today. He was dependable, kind, and present when needed. The Bible reminds us in Psalms 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Today we lean on this truth. God is not distanced from this pain. He sees every tear, sees every unanswered question, and holds every shattered heart, especially the hearts of us, his beloved family. We may not understand why this happened, but we trust in God who understands us. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says that God has placed eternity in our hearts. That is why goodbyes hurt so deeply, because love was never meant to end in sudden separation. For those of us left behind, Cyrus's life continues to speak. It speaks through memories, through lessons learned, through love shared, through the impact he made. His love did not die in this sudden departure. It lives in our hearts and for those who loved and knew him. Jesus reminds us in John, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. I go to prepare a place for you." This gives us hope, not the absence of grief. This gives us hope and not the absence of grief, but the presence of assurance that death is not the end. For those who trust in the Lord, it is a doorway into eternal peace. And to us all, let us honor Cyrus by loving more deeply, intentionally, and forgiving freely. And to our children, Cyrus, we want you to know how deeply he loved today and always. Your father was very proud of you. He loved you. and words cannot fully explain the love that he has shown in his care, his guidance, his protection, and his dreams for the future. Even though you cannot see him now, his love for you has not ended. The memories he gave you, the lessons he taught you, and the prayers he prayed over you, over your life will remain with you forever. No accident can take away the bond between a father and his children. The Bible gives us special promise in Psalm 68:5, which says, God is the father to the fatherless and a defender of the widows. This means that God himself will watch over you. He will walk with you through every tear, through every question, in every step ahead. When you feel weak, he will be your strength. When you feel afraid, he will be your peace. He will be your peace. Your father would want you to keep going on, keep learning, keep dreaming, keep believing. He would want you to be kind, generous, and hopeful. And whatever you miss in him, remember his love never dies. He lives in your hearts forever. You are not alone. God is holding you. Your family is surrounding you, and your father will always be a part of who you are. To Cyrus, khona ni mirembe xipenzi xanje.
Good morning, church. God is good. That morning, early in the morning when Anne called me, what she was speaking and telling me through the phone was totally unthinkable. For the first time in my life, I could hear my heart pounding in my ears. To read his tribute, we are not able to encompass Cyrus in just a page. In fact, we would need a book, volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3 to be able to capture exactly who Cyrus was. I will read my tribute. My name is Christine Nyokabi. CJ the Man, that is what they called you in the early 90s, a name that perfectly captured a personality larger than life. To the world, you are fearless, bold, and courageous, unpretentious, and unapologetically honest. You spoke the truth without hesitation, and people listened. Your charisma drew people effortlessly, while your outrageous, unforgettable humor and booming laughter announced your presence long before you entered the room. But to me, you were much more, Cyrus. You had the biggest heart of anyone I have ever known. You treated everyone you met with the same warmth and respect, whether powerful or humble, rich or poor. Your generosity was instinctive, and your empathy for the less fortunate, deeply genuine. I cannot count the number of people who came to you with their problems, and you sat, listened, and moved immediately to help however you could. I was constantly amazed by how you came alive when faced with obstacles. You relished a challenge, and even when bruised and bloodied, you never backed down. You fought to the very end. Your love of life was infectious. You had an incredible ability to make light life's challenges, even in the most perilous times. And in your presence, we always felt safe. Meticulous and tireless, your work ethics was impossible to match. Once you set your mind on something, you pursued it with passion, discipline, far ahead of your time, often seeing what others could not. Even when people failed to understand your vision, you pressed on, trusting your instincts and staying true to yourself. You lived life at speed, always a few steps ahead of everyone, leaving the rest of us trying to catch up. Through you, my world expanded in many ways I never imagined. I met people from every walk of life, cutting across the economic, political, and social spheres. You connected effortlessly, bringing together an extraordinary range of personalities who might never have crossed paths. Your influence was wide, your impact undeniable, and your presence was unforgettable. Cyrus, you never said kwaheri. There was so much more to do, so many plans yet to be realized, and so much left unsaid. I will miss your loud voice, your infectious laughter, your crooked jokes, your wicked sense of humor, your company more than words can express. You will be deeply missed and never forgotten. Your legacy lives on through your children, and I promise to remain strong on your behalf, carrying forward the love, the courage, and the vision you lived by. Rest easy, Sira. You are and always will be a legend.
Good morning, church. Bwana asifiwe. Yeah, my name is Anne Lanoy. I'll read my tribute, and then afterwards maybe I can just give a short synopsis of what happened on the last day. I sit at your desk struggling to find the words to honor you, but the weight of this loss feels too heavy for language. Your departure doesn't make sense to me. The world feels still and strange without you. You are my constant world, and my heart, and the heart of our home. You love me in a way that only my heart truly knows, making me feel cherished and favored in every single day. I miss the simple things most. How you always answered my calls on the first ring, and the many times you called just to share a joke or to seek advice. As a father, you are our children's greatest anger. You are present, steady force, teaching them never to settle for mediocrity and to always strive for their best. Through your firm yet gentle example, you taught us the value of hard work, the beauty of humility, respect, and kindness. Your deep faith and religious devotion guided our path, and these are the virtues that we will carry forward in your honor. Cyrus, you are the definition of resilience. You are a visionary who thought outside the box, believing that nothing was insurmountable. To you, the word impossible did not exist. You are our eternal optimist, giving us hope when we felt we had none, and calming storms of life with your steady presence. You are uniquely generous and often giving until you had nothing left, and yet never expecting a single thing in return. You embraced my family as your own, caring deeply for them and always concerning yourself with their well-being. Truly, they became your people, and you became their heart. Thank you for the immense trust you placed in me. It has been my greatest honor to raise our children by your side and to care for your family. Your impact reached far beyond our home. You inspired so many to chase their dreams and helped set strangers in their darkest hours simply because it was who you were. My love, the loss is immeasurable, but so is the love you left behind. I could write a book about the life we shared, but for now, I carry your story in my heart. Fare thee well, my love, until we meet again at that beautiful shore. May God keep your soul in eternal peace.
Amen.
On 12th of December, that was Jamhuri Day, Cyrus called me at around 12:34 and we spoke for about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. He called again at around 2:30 and asked me where I was. And I told him that I was in the supermarket. He said he wanted to see me, so he drove to where I was. When he reached the parking, he called me and told me he was outside. So I just put the trolley aside and went to see him. I sat in the car, we had a conversation, and then he left. He told me he was going back to the office to build his castles. He told me I'm going to dream and build my castles in the office, but later I'll be going to see the Honorable Speaker, Wetangula. Later, he FaceTime called me at around 4, told me he never even went to the office, that he had gone to the house and was just feeling tired and went to sleep. So when he called, he was just on the chair. He told me he had been dozing on the chair for about 2 hours. And that was the last time I spoke to Cyrus. And the time he came to the parking at the supermarket was the last time I saw him. I had a restless night that night. I didn't sleep well. And the feelings I had were really strong. So I looked at my watch, at my phone, and it was exactly midnight. I could not really decode what I was feeling. So I took a screenshot of my phone. It is the picture on my tribute. It was exactly midnight. And I could hear voices saying, "It is over. It is over." I couldn't make sense of it. At 3 o'clock, 3:20, when I got the call, I was still awake, trying to make sense of what I was feeling. I saw his call, but when I picked, it was not him. Someone asked me if I knew the owner of the phone, and I told him, "Yeah, that's my husband." I asked where he is, if I could speak to him. But they told me that he's been involved in an accident, and he was unconscious but was being attended to by the doctors. I continued talking, but I immediately asked my daughter Sonia to accompany me, and we started driving towards Naivasha. I could also not make sense when I was told that the accident had occurred in Naivasha, because he had no plans of traveling. So it was, at first I thought it was a prank, but then the officer identified herself and said she was Corporal Rhoda of Naivasha Police Station. So I drove and I went. I realized that it was going to be very heavy for me. I called Senator Kaniri, I called Mr. Kisia and Mr. Fred Amayo and asked them to accompany me to Naivasha. And I'm glad that even at that hour, at 3 a.m. in the morning, they woke up and they followed me alongside their spouses. And we kept going, we kept communicating. I also called his doctor, Martin Wanyoike, and put him on high alert. I told him Cyrus has been involved in an accident, kindly be on high alert. And he called back and even sent me a number for the air rescue. Finally, when I called the police officer, I told him the air rescue requires a landmark for them to land. That's when the commandant of Naivasha Police Station told me, "Mama, hii sasa siyo rescue mission, mzee ametuacha." It was devastating. We stopped the car on the roadside and we just screamed and cried and cried. I informed Christine Nyokabi, I informed Kanini of what has happened. I also informed her siblings. And I called some of our children, Jake, Tim, and June. I told them to follow because things were really bad. I had also called Honorable Sudi. Though he did not answer, he called me at around 6, and I also informed him about what had happened. We reached there. We found Cyrus in the morgue at Naivasha Mortuary. So the rescue mission changed now to something else. So I called Lee Funeral Home and asked them to send us a hearse. And the whole team, we converged at the morgue and we brought him back to Nairobi. It is a terrible loss. It was so shocking to speak to someone a few hours and then later be told that he is no more. I pray for your prayers for the family. The children have been hardest hit, but God will give them strength. And I pray that all the children, let us be strong. Let us love one another. And let us continue with Dad's legacy. Dad was a fair man. He believed in equity, and he never discriminated against anyone. And I pray that God will give us the grace to continue that and to be fair to all the children and give them what they deserve. God bless us all. Thank you.
Amen. Let's appreciate the spouses. To Honorable Cyrus Jirongo. Yeah, thank you so much. At this time, we want to give the offering as a tradition of Christ is the Answer Ministries. When it comes to offerings in the memorial service or the funeral service, the offerings normally go to the family. So as you are giving, you know that you are giving to the family, you're not giving to the church. So if you had no opportunity to give, this is your opportunity. Whatever you give will go to the family. That is the policy of CITAM. And at this time, I'll invite the music team to come and give us a hymn. And then we have ushers who will be bringing some bags. And again, also for those who are giving digitally, the details are on the screen. So you are giving to the family. So that whatever you give is going to the family.
Sing the wondrous love of Jesus. Sing his mercy and his grace. In the mansions bright and blessed, he'll prepare for us a place when we all get to heaven. What a day of rejoicing that will be when we all see Jesus. We'll sing and shout the victory. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be.
CJ believed life was meant to be. CJ believed life was meant to be lived forward.